Hi there, my name's Jason Williams, and in this video, another shorty GQ TB42 video, right? In this video, I'm gonna install this notched float kit to the carburetor on the Holly carburetor. As you know, when I go up on really steep angles and lift wheels high, when I get it on a really uncomfortable angle, it stalls. And I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. So apparently this is a fix. It's a Holly notched carburetor. It's called, the code number is 116-10. It's called a notched float kit. And so what it does, it has some extensions for the jets at the bottom of the inside the fuel bowl, and a new float, so it can doesn't interfere with them. And so I'm going to try that, put that on in this video and see if it works. And plus, I've now finally got a vacuum and fuel pressure gauge. About time. You know, normally I'm working on diesel or fuel injected cars, so I never had one of these. So now I am. And alright, so I'm going to get straight into it and begin putting this in. I expect it won't take very long. I expect the majority of the time is going to be me setting up the camera and doing it that way. So I'll get onto this and begin. And so what this kit consists of is a new float. You'll see it's got some notches in it, and that's so it doesn't interfere with these little jet extensions, because that's the main part that's supposed to make it run different. I'll test this at the end of the video. I'll put it up on a high piece where I know it will stall out, and check it and install these. Like, very simple kit. I don't reckon this is going to take me long, just as long as I remember how to set the float in a carburetor. Alright, let's begin. Alright, so the first part you'll do, you want to remove the air cleaner. It helps get it out of the way. Oh, anyway, take the air cleaner off, put it aside, remove the negative off the battery, one up to that, yeah. Alright, so with the air cleaner off, opens it up a bit. These are quite easy to get to. Remove the fuel hose, fairly important. Yes, what I might not be able to get that off. Oh well. Alright, and remove your vacuum lines to get them out of the way. That one can stay there. I think. Oh, wasn't very tight, was it? What we're doing is just removing the fuel bowl to start with. Not overly tight at all, were they? Bit of fuel will dribble out the bottom, that's fine. That's to be expected. 4 screws. On you. Alright, that's all off. The fuel bowl come off. Careful not to wreck the gaskets as you go. And that's where are the jets? There, that's where the extension kit will go in. And first guess I'll make that the first job, won't I? Alright, half thinking I should remove this little bracket doesn't need to be on there anymore, but I've just got to make sure I reattach the earth lead. Just do these one at a time. Try not to drop them. That would really suck. That's one extension installed to the jet. Then install that to the base. I forget what that's called, medium block or something like that. That one out into the other extension. That extension into there where the jet was. That'll do. Quite firm. Right, next step is to do the float. Alright, with the bowl, I've you know, it goes that way, but I've turned it upside down. The top will sit fairly level with if you can see where the overflow port is. So this is for when checking the depth of the float when it's running. Anyway, long story short, that's around about where you want the float set, roughly, to the best of my understanding of it. So from here, I'm going to now remove the this screw here, because this will remove, or you know, this retains the needle and seat. So if I undo that screw, you have to remove the needle and seat in order to get this float out. So that comes out of there. That screw, I've got to remember, there's that little gasket which stays with that screw, and the needle and seat is around about, if we can see that, I'll get it up nice and close, it's around about halfway up that nut. Alright, and I believe the whole lot slots out without turning the screw. Can't quite remember. No. So I've got to undo that screw, that bolt, sorry, that nut. And with that, I should take photos as I go. That way I can remember the positions. And if I also do that, that needle and seat seems to, also that float seems to bounce around a little bit, doesn't it? Take a photo. As I'm sort of struggling to remember, you know, I used to play with these, but man, that was a long time ago. Oh, there we go, the nut's fallen off, there we go. There we go. I thought it was something like that. There's that gasket, goes under that nut. Make sure I try get that right way. And there's a needle and seat. You should just come out. I don't think it screws in or screws out, does it? Or does it? It does screw out, yes. And the needle and seat should be one piece in these carburetors. There we go. Needle and seat's out. And then I think I undo those two little screws in there. It's like the retaining plate for it. One screw. It's like you want it to magnet, it won't, and then you get off and it won't fall off. Right, now the float should come out. Here we go. Oops. Pins falling out everywhere. That's right. Should be pretty easy to figure out which way that goes. Alright. So being this, we're going to mirror everything kind of the way it was, which is like that. Alright, after fighting with that thing off camera for a little bit, I did, I managed to get it in there. It was, I keep shaking and it was making it quite difficult. And so to turn it upside down, it shows it like hitting the lid. So we know we put the needle and seat in. This one. All right. So we do the same thing. That's about the right spot right there. I'll check with I'll put this spacer nut on top. I'll see if it's sitting around about halfway up like that. Oops. That's looking about right in there. If we can see that. Hope so. That looks about right. That looks about right. I'm happy to install the screw back in the top of this. Come on, work with me hands. Alright. It's about roughly about right there, and those notches will miss those extended floats when it's down low. So with that kind of done, it's basically time to reinstall it. Pretty simple, isn't it? Alright, so with the jets or extenders are installed, that's going to sit underneath those under that notched float, and I've got to make sure that's up and this goes underneath it for the power jet, if that's what you call it. Ooh, and better make sure the gasket's on there, eh? Oh, they got little notches, that makes it a whole lot easier, doesn't it? So that going under there, that's there, and I can put each of these screws in. Don't, do the first one up tight. Just gentle, gentle. Go the opposite corner till it meets up. And same goes till it meets up. And then this one also till it meets up. Then you can go a bit tighter. Oh, the battery and the light's flat. How typical. Might have to go swap that out for a charged one. Alright, with the new light fitted, just checking that tension on those. I mean, you don't go stupid tight because it's aluminium housing, it'll strip, but you want it to be quite firm. And possibly testing the tension of this bowl after it's been running or while it's hot, because it will change. You want to get that on there. Looks good. And vacuum. This is a vacuum advance. Installing that back on here. And make sure that's under there. There's no large play in that, no. Everything's working properly. And reinstall the fuel hose, obviously. I wonder that's what, I'll get this and I'll start it. I'll start the engine and it will it'll start, it'll run for, it'll turn over for a little bit while it fills the bowl back up with fuel, and then it will run. Put the camera in a different spot and I'll start it up. Well, I guess here goes nothing. I'll reattach the earth lead and start your engines. It'll take a bit to get up there. All right. Here goes nothing. Used to conk out about there. If I go any further, I'm going to fall over, so that's a complete success. It would normally have completely cut out by now. Alright, that's it for this video. That was a fairly quick job, hopefully useful to if you've been putting cars, you know, if you've got a 50 Holly on a TB42 or something like that, and you go four-wheel drive and get it up on some pretty steep angles, you're going to want to put that notched float kit in for sure. I can't believe how much, you know, better and easier that was, that, you know, just sort of drove up there, it didn't stutter, nothing, it was fine. So it definitely made a difference. And that's now about it. You would have seen, maybe you see the previous videos, put gas struts on, and I'm working in a workshop, the air conditioning, this is so cool. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will aspire to see you in the next one. Cheers, thanks.